So we are here at Recovery Awareness Day 2025, and I'm joined by Lauren from the Guest House in Ocala, Florida.
You got it.
That's it. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what y'all do.
Yeah, so I'm the Director of Clinical Outreach at the Guest House. The Guest House is a residential program really looking to get to the underlying root cause of the maladaptive coping behaviors.
Yep.
So trauma and co-occurring with substance abuse, eating disorders, anxiety, depression. We have a primary mental health license in addition to treating substance abuse. So we really are, can be mental health primary and also co-occurring.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the name.
Yeah.
Right? Where that all comes from.
The Guest House.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about it.
It's a famous Rumi poem called The Guest House. And it's very much this concept of inviting all aspects of ourselves. And when people go through, and we all have various different traumas or ways that we create protections around ourselves. And our instinct is to shame or to isolate or to push away negative feelings. And the poem, The Guest House, is really about like inviting all of it in, like come into the pain, the shame, the fears, the questions that we have about ourselves. Like let's invite it all in with this sense of curiosity and a sense of compassion. And so that's really where the name came from. And so we call our clients our guests after the poem, The Guest House. But it's really with this underlying concept of like, we want our guests to feel that they're home, that they're welcome, that they're respected, that we're treating them with integrity. So often when people come into residential treatment, especially with underlying trauma, there's so much shame, there's so much pain, and they feel really, really badly about themselves. And we just want to like love them and treat them with so much respect and dignity until they can really love themselves.
Well, what I like about the term guest is a guest is someone who's welcome. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people, that's why we always talk about, at Blanchard, like the front desk person, right, is so important because it's usually the first person that has been excited to see that client, that guest, that patient come in a long time, right? Like I know when I was in my active addiction, people did not like to see me coming, right? I was not a welcome guest. And so I think having that kind of positive spin on it too can, like you're a guest because you are wanted here, so that I think, I've been to a few treatment facilities and I've been called students, right? Patient, client, and I think that might be the first time I've heard guest. So I like that.
Yeah. And it's such a good point in terms of the staff and everybody who works there, who interacts with our guests. They all matter and they're all such an important part of it. Yeah. And like you said, when someone's walking around and feeling really badly about themselves and they're getting treated daily with such kindness by every interaction, eventually you start to like internalize that. And I can't tell you the number of times I read that when our guests complete treatment, they fill out a survey about their experience with us. And every single survey has a staff member's name written down of like, this person saved my life. Yeah. The kitchen staff, treated me with such kindness. It's that daily sense of like belonging and that daily sense of connection that makes such a difference. Yeah.
No, I still remember, now that you mentioned it, I still remember Deb was the lunch lady. She was the staff who was cooking and loved her. And I think it's, we always talk about, especially with Ward, I'm sure you've met him, right? Like the nuances are the things that matter, right? On paper, a PHP is a PHP is a PHP. A residential, and it kind of goes on and on, right? What really makes that difference is it's the little details, right? Like, the intentionality behind paintings on the walls, the intentionality behind why this person is in that position. And that's why I think it's really good to have people who are not only passionate about this work, but having that extra background of whether it's somebody who's in recovery or who's been personally affected by it in some way, just gives them that extra passion, that extra kindness that goes along with understanding how to treat the client, right? And it's not something I would say you necessarily learn in school. It's not something that you get by getting the letters after your name. It's something different and intangible that I think makes people in this field different than, say a finance major or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about the relationship. It's all about like the ability to connect, and it's all about treating all people, no matter where they are, with respect and dignity.
Yeah. I think it's important to show patients or guests, clients, what a caring, compassionate, healthy, connected, fulfilled life looks like, right? So, especially while they're in our care, obviously they've got the peers around them, but especially us as staff, I think it's an important thing that I think we can't ignore, right? Is we have to exemplify what it looks like to be living a healthy lifestyle. And that doesn't mean we have to lie and spin things as positive all the times, but right, like if we're having a bad day, exemplifying how to handle that in a positive, healthy manner. And I think it just kind of, it's contagious. Just like you said, how, they're just surrounded by nice people all the time and people being kind to them. At some point, the dam's going to break and they're going to be like, well, I guess this is how life is.
Yeah. So many people say to me after their experience at the guest house that it was the first time that they ever felt safe in their lives. And that the safety, we know, is the most important thing in terms of trauma treatment, is feeling you have to feel safe.
Yeah.
And creating that sense of safety and that sense of belonging so that they can go to like their most hurt places and expose like their most vulnerable places. But creating that safety, to your point, like that has to come first. And that comes from every interaction that they have, whether it's with the staff, whether it's with another guest there, but modeling that behavior to facilitate that feeling is really like the most important priority.
Yeah. So how long is y'all's treatment program? Is it standard or is it like a minimum, or what's that kind of look like?
Ideally, it's 90 days.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they really are doing really, really deep trauma work. So it takes about 30 days to settle in, to create that sense of structure, that sense of safety, 30 days to dive into that work, to really do that deeper work, and another 30 days to start thinking about like, well, what's next? We do ask for a minimum of 30 days.
For sure.
And at least, and ideally it was really created to be a 90-day program.
And so is it 90-day like full residential? Is there any like step down process to it, or is it kind of residential the whole way through? It
is residential the whole way through.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, with the intention of treating the underlying issue, to getting to the heart of what's really going on. So being able to do that in sort of a contained environment where, you don't want to expose someone and bring out things that they're really struggling with, and then they have to like go back to work or go to their family. This is a space where their nervous systems can finally settle, and they know that they're going to be there for a long enough amount of time to really to dive into that trauma work.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, perfect.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you coming by today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So if someone listening to this, whether it's another facility that might need your services for a potential guest, or if it's someone who needs them services themselves, how do we get a hold of you? Yeah,
so the best way to reach me, so I really like to take the call because I'm a social worker, and so I want to make sure that they're an appropriate fit. And if they're not, I want to make sure to access resources for them that would be. So the best way is really my cell phone, which is 215-208-1424. That's my cell phone number, and anybody can call me at any time.
Love that.
Thank you.
Perfect. Of course. You have a good one.
You too.